on Instagram to never ever miss any of my crazy updates. Hi guys and welcome to another vlog. I'm driving this. This is the entry-level Lamborghini. This is the Lamborghini Huracan LP640-4 EVO Spyder. What is LP? LP actually in Italian means longitudinale posteriore. I'm 100% sure I'm not pronouncing it right, but it means longitudinally mounted rear mid-engine of this car. Now, this is the key, very much like an Audi key. This is to lock the car, this is to open the front, and this is to unlock the car. There's the Lambo logo here. Okay, I'm showing it to you the other way. There you can see. And it also says Lamborghini right there. So straight away, we are going to be opening the front. I press it twice and it should open. There it does. Makes quite a lot of sound as well. And then we are just going to pull this lever and put it up. Now, there's some storage space at least, but this is useless because this whole thing heats up. I don't know how. I put my camera. It was boiling hot. So I will not put any important electronic thing here for sure. Now this is where the reflector is kept for the wind, which I'll show you. It's already mounted right now. Here you get a tire inflator along with some sort of a kit. Meanwhile, here you get Lamborghini branded gloves, white in color, and this is the tire mobility system. You get a 12-volt charging socket here and a light as well. So straight away, let's just shut this. There's no insulation. It doesn't need any insulation. It has some warning stuff written right there. And there is the beautiful Lambo logo. Now, everything about this car is about being angular. It is all about being hexagonal. You see, there is so much space here so that there's better breathing. This seems to be a towing hook. You get front parking sensors. Number plate has been placed like this. The speed camera has to look like that. Then only it can spot the speeding bull. Anyways, Huracan or Huracan actually means hurricane in Spanish, and it's named after a bull from Spain, of course. Here you can see the lights. They are beautiful. These are the LED DRLs, which also convert into the indicators. Stunning looking car. In spite of the fact this is 10 years old, it still looks so freaking gorgeous. How is that possible, Lamborghini? How did you make such a beautiful looking car? And you know what the beauty is? The engine is the beauty here, not really the car. Anyways, let me see if I can roll down the windows by pressing a button. Yeah, it's taking some time, because that doesn't seem to work. Anyways, when you unlock the car, the door handles actually pop out. Yeah, how cool is that? That's amazing. Otherwise, when the door handles are inside, okay, when the car is locked, the door handles go inside. You have to actually pull them like that, which I will show you in a bit. Why are we getting inside straight away? Because I'm going to put the roof down. So with the roof up, it doesn't look that great. It takes 17 seconds for the roof to come down. Doesn't insulate much of the noise from outside, which is a good and bad thing as well. And this is obviously a cloth roof. So first things first, let me flip this switch up and turn on the car. There it says Huracan EVO, and the mirrors also retract. So first things first, all I have to do is, everything is ulta actually. You have to press everything in the opposite direction. So Lambo has done that weird thing of not having things pointing in the right direction. And there comes out the roof. 17 seconds for this. Takes a bit more time than what usually cars or convertibles take. But never mind. You get something which looks absolutely stunning. So here, I have to press it the other side. I'm going to roll down the window. Here in Dubai, of course, the windows are tinted. So let's now circle around the car. Doesn't it look absolutely gorgeous? What a beautiful looking car. Mind blown. Trust me. See the cuts and creases and the angular design. There's a reflector treatment here. Front tire size is obviously smaller when compared to the rear one. But 245/30/20s. Gorgeous alloy wheels. And there is no profile only. It seems that the tire is missing completely. Lamborghini carbon ceramic discs, which are massive in terms of size. There you can see the suspension. Again, angular mirrors, and it looks $1 million from the side. This is one supercar which simply hasn't aged at all. No, it did not age only. It looks that stunning. And then you've got this gloss black finishing here on the fuel lid. I just filled fuel, so I realized the value of expensive fuel. Anyways, here you can pull in air to cool the engine. Of course, fuel is not expensive. I was just kidding. It's very cheap here. This was a reflector I was talking about. You can remove it and put it back as well. There's a hook here. It says Lamborghini right there. Huracan EVO is written there. Again, hexagonal treatment. Seats are very stiff, very sporty. Dashboard design looks wonderful. In fact, it tells the name of the car somewhere here. Right now you can't see. Okay, there it is. I have to clean it a bit. We are in the desert. So Huracan Spyder is written there. There is a sensor that is for the rain sensing wipers, of course. What a beauty. I mean, I'm going to keep praising this car endlessly because I think it's amazingly beautiful. In fact, you can see functional vent right there. Rear tire size is bigger at 305 30/20s and beautiful looking alloy wheels, really amazing. I love the design of the alloys. In fact, there's something functional there also, a vent, probably for channeling air. There is the suspension springs. Coming to the rear of the car, I'm going to disappoint you by telling you that unfortunately, this car has an issue that the lid is not coming up because I'm not able to access the engine, but it can be opened. It doesn't really show you the engine properly, unlike the coupe version which shows you the engine all the time. That V10 engine is absolutely glorious. I'm saying glorious, I don't know what happened. Anyways, the exhaust pipes are placed a little high up and they are real AF, so you have to be scared of them because even if you're 2 kilometers away, you can still hear the car. Diffuser, rear parking sensors, rear camera nicely mounted there, high mounted stop lamp. Lights are absolutely beautiful. Again, angular treatment for the lights, but really sexy looking lights. And then you've got a reflector treatment here as well. Okay, there's sort of a mud flap here. Oh my god, whichever angle I look at this car, it just is mind-bogglingly phenomenal. What a design. This car simply doesn't age. Okay, now I'll show you what I have to do. I have to push it in like this and open the door. That is how it is done. Speaker placement here, it is Sensonium, which is terrible honestly. It's not the bass one is even worst, but then you have a glorious soundtrack from the engine, of course. Why do you even need an audio system? Lamborghini chalai jane ho. This is to turn off the alarm. There's a light here which helps you to see properly what's in the door pockets, of course. This is to unlock the car, this is to lock the car, and these are the controls for the adjustment of the outside rear view mirrors. See this tile treatment? It's almost in multiple places, which will remind you of the Tata Harrier bathroom edition.
Excuse me.
No, it says forged composites, but you know, the design is very much similar to what you have seen in those Tata Harriers and Safaris, gold edition and all. So that's kind of weird. Noren was like, what is this design? Why is so cheap? But it's okay. Let's forgive that. It says Huracan here. Pedal placement is really very weird. Honestly, your foot pains after some time. That is the switch to unlock the frunk. This is to open the engine cover, which is not working at the moment. These are the controls for the lights, and this is, I think, to increase or decrease the intensity. Flappy paddles, of course, and getting in and out is acrobatics. I am not even kidding. So if you have to remove this now, there is a switch right here which you need to pull. Okay, yeah, I'll just do that and show it to you. Now it is out. So what it does is it deflects the air. That's the function of this. To put it back again, I have to use both my hands and then slot it right there. Headroom is inadequate with the roof up. With the roof down, obviously unlimited headroom. You can take as much headroom as you want. Huracan written here. Here it's telling you the tire pressure recommendation along with the tire sizes, of course. And this is for the service. So when is the oil change needed? There's actually some amount of space here. But unfortunately, depending on how far forward or behind the seat is, you can decide on the recline angle. For me, the recline angle is so upright, it's like I've been punished to drive this car. That's how it is. So very poor ergonomics. Getting in and out is a pain. I'm trying to evade getting in the car because it's so difficult. Let me show you. One leg here. Sit down like that. Okay, I have learned the art now. Again, angular treatment, and for symmetry purposes, similar to this is here as well. But obviously that is a dummy. Says Lamborghini here in case the person sitting next to you forgets. There's also a passenger airbag warning light which tells you when it's active or not. Glovebox is decent size. There is the manual. Let me just remove that. And oh my god, this itself will be so expensive. Oh, how many books do you want should I read after buying this car? Lamborghini is like, yes. So various information, I think local information is also given. The A here actually has this on the top, the first A. Here it is the second A, so I don't know why there is no symmetry. Come on Lambo, you can do better in that regard. Or maybe Italians have a different way of doing stuff. Oh, looks glorious in this color. It's a quick guide of how to not kill yourself. Is this a color showcase? Every sort of color is showcased right there. Sort of velvet treatment, which actually looks nice. This is obviously auto dimming, light placement here on the top. And there are 3 buttons for God knows what. Maybe it might be to activate the garage opening or something. No, I have no clue. Maybe for the alarms, whatever. Here you get a sun visor, which has a chin-to minto mirror as well. And same is the case there as well. You get a sun visor along with a mirror. Meanwhile, your knee hits here, so they have given this sort of a treatment. In fact, there's some storage space below as well. Yeah, there's some storage space below. Well, that is handy. And there's some ambient light which actually comes there, but it's white. There's some storage space here as well. 2 USB charging sockets. I think a subwoofer. It says Sensonium right here. Meanwhile, there's a 12-volt charging socket. This is to rest your hand. Electric parking brake. This is to open and close the roof mechanism. This is to open and close this glass which you see, right? You can actually put it down even with the roof up, so that some sound comes from the V10 engine right there. This is the engine start button. For that you have to push it upwards and then press it. No, yeah, you can just press it from here, but that's some drama. This is to get into reverse like that. Parking manual. So very easy car, nothing difficult. In fact, this is for the driver's power window. This is for the co-passenger's power window. This is to increase or decrease the ride height. ESC off, hazard light, parking sensors, auto stop start system. Very easy, lovely buttons, yeah, like lovely aircraft style toggle switches. Some storage space here where dust seems to be residing at the moment. Now this happens to be an 8.4 inch screen, which is horrible. It's terrible. You can't see it with the roof down at all. Here vehicle will show you a lot of things, like LDVI is the new system with which they are able to manage the overall traction levels of this car. Interesting. And then air conditioning is so fiddly to operate. Here I am getting into air conditioning and I operate it this way. I don't know why it doesn't go to 0 somehow. Let me get out of this. Volume controller is here, which is a very weird position. Come on Lambo, you can do better. So this screen isn't that great, and if you want to see parking sensors, they actually display here. Otherwise, the rear camera comes in right here. So these are the controls for the wipers. So I can activate the wipers like this. This is for the washer fluid. This is obviously for the pass-by. This is for the indicator. These controls are for these screens on either side, and this is to change the various drive modes. So when I get into Corsa, you see the instrument cluster mode changes. That's kind of nice. And again, there's some difference between Strada and Sport mode as well. These are the controls for the cruise control system. Steering is fantastic. The paddle shifters are amazing. And then you've got plenty of information there. The quality of this screen is next freaking level. It's just amazing. And there I can see the tire pressure monitor. I can browse through a lot of things like trip information, trip 1, trip 2, driving time is there, sports chronograph is also there if you want to time yourself, and also when is the next service, distance to empty, temperature. Everything is super duper awesome. This is the fuel meter, this is the temperature meter. In fact, the car also comes with a camera here as well as here, which records you when you go out driving this car on a racetrack. Amazing, right? So straight away, let's turn on the car. Oh my goodness, the drama, insane. Okay, it's got 6 airbags. This roof works till 50 kilometers per hour. After that, you cannot remove it or put it back up. And I'm going to rev it. In freaking sane. Let's get into Corsa mode. Check that out. Okay. It also shows you what is the top speed you have hit, G-force meter. There's so much information in this cluster. There's a button here to do the tripping. There's a check button there. I don't know for what, maybe. The tire pressure monitor has gone for a toss. Even though I have filled air personally, it's still telling me that it has underinflated tires at the rear. So that's another little bit of a bummer. Meanwhile, let me get into reverse. Pull it like this. There is the reverse parking camera. It's got adaptive guidelines as well. That's kind of awesome. But honestly, how is it to drive? So let's start driving this Lamborghini right away. Alright, let's turn on the car and it actually properly rose to life into first gear, and we will drive off very smoothly. This is still turning on. It says Automobili Lamborghini. Yeah, it's taking its own sweet time. So when you're driving this car at slower speeds, the gear shifts happen very quickly. We are already at 35 kilometers per hour in 5th gear. That's how fast it is. This screen has gone for a toss. It's hung up today, I feel. So you can feel the stiffness right away. There it says Huracan EVO. Nice Italian flag between both the letters, of course. A little bit of sand, no problem. You just glide through like that. So yeah, it's not a very comfortable car, and I know you guys can't see much. It asked me to accept some bullshit, so I have done that as well. Meanwhile, when I get into the climate settings, there's seat heating as well. Heating is not needed because you can't see much of the outside because it's so hot and bright right now, even at 5 PM, which is quite surprising. So let me quickly use the wipers. Yeah, you can see the spray. Very nice. I'm not going to do it with the roof down because the spray actually comes inside the car, so they have not really positioned the nozzles properly. And talking about that, well, washer fluid is also placed somewhere there where you actually fill in the washer fluid. Here we're going to take a turn from here. So as I see it, this car is actually not difficult to drive at all because obviously all-wheel drive, and like I was telling you, this is the LP640-4. 640 is for 640 horsepower, PS of power actually. 4 stands for all-wheel drive. So there have been so many variants of this car over the years. It's absolutely crazy. Okay, till 50 kilometers per hour now, this mechanism works. Yeah, the convertible mechanism works till 50 kilometers per hour. So I'm just going to show you how it actually shows me in the instrument cluster when it's coming down. So the instrument cluster is just amazing in this car. Lovely looking instrument cluster, next level honestly. And then the windows are up. We'll keep the windows up for a moment, otherwise there will be too much wind noise. Around the corners, it does inspire quite a lot of confidence. In fact, here I'm going to downshift. Oh. There is so much dust moving all around. Car is very confident. Yeah, it's very confident around the corners. So there is no issue in that because it's sort of point and shoot. It's very accurate, but there's a lot of wind noise. In fact, I think the camera is right now outside the car because headroom is such a big issue. This car doesn't have much space. That's the only gripe I have. Otherwise, it's a fantastic car, but then it's an entry-level car from Lambo, so space is something which isn't a given because there's a truck which is putting out all the dust. We're going to stop here and then let it go, and then we're going to launch, of course. So here we go. Okay, so steering wheel can be adjusted both for reach as well as the rake. I don't know how I forgot to tell you that, not that it's important. Here we are going to get into vehicles, so LDVI I'll turn on. So I don't know if you can see it. Obviously you will not be able to see it because the screen is just not visible at all. And we are actually going to get into Strada mode, which is going to give me all the power I need in the world. And obviously we are going to turn off traction control as well, so ESC off, because then only launch control works, which they like to call as thrust mode. They say, yeah, thrust mode possible. It also means that it will not automatically make gear shift. I have to manually do that. Left foot on the brake, right foot on the accelerator, revving the motor, thrust mode possible. Bonkers acceleration, really goes off the line with so much grunt and thrust, so it will not make shifts when in Strada mode, when in Corsa mode. Corsa stands for race, of course. However, because it says thrust mode possible, which is launch control, it made shifts and it really accelerated very fast. So this is a 5.2 liter naturally aspirated V10 motor. Yeah, this is 5204cc and it produces 631 horsepower, which comes in at a very high 8000 RPM. So we're going to turn from here. There's so much grip. When with traction control off, oh my god, dust is in my mouth and my eyes. So torque output is 600 Newton meters. It's not much, but then this is naturally aspirated. Turbocharged engines obviously make a lot more torque, but then they also completely dull the performance, rather the sound. They dull the sound of the car. This is absolutely bonkers. It's so freaking loud. It's unbelievable. I don't even know how they got clearance to launch a car this loud. It's that freaking loud. It will blow your eardrums off. I am not even kidding. So basically European regulations made petrol particulate filters mandatory, saying because of emissions, but it was actually to curtail the sound. Lambo found a way around that and the car is bloody loud. unbelievably loud. 0 to 100 kilometers per hour takes 3.1 seconds. In the coupe, it takes 2.9 seconds. So 120 kgs extra weight because of the soft top, of course, and the whole mechanism of opening the sunroof and closing it. Top speed is in excess of 320 kilometers per hour. So yeah, it's bloody fast. It is bloody fast. It's so crazy quick. It's amazing. It's next level, this car, in the way the engine performs. Honestly, the highlight of this car is the engine. Everything else is secondary here. Trust me, the engine is mind-blowing. Okay, let's launch. Unbelievable. 1, 6, 5, 10, 2, 7, 3, 8, 4, 9. That is the firing order of this V10 engine. Yes, it's an odd firing order. I don't know how I remember those numbers and how those cylinders are fired, but I do. And because this is not turbocharged, it redlines like man. 8,500 RPM redline. It absolutely goes bonkers. The gear shifts are super quick. It's a 7-speed dual clutch automatic gearbox, which is unbelievably quick with shifts. Super duper fast shifts. Before you blink, it makes an upshift. It's that quick. It's also very fast with downshift. There are 3 drive modes. There's Strada, which stands for street, of course. Sport stands for sport, and Corsa stands for race. And it's more aggressive in Corsa mode because throttle response is slightly better. Traction control is less intervening. We have turned it off right now. That's a different thing. And along with that, I think the exhaust is also louder. And that's the reason why am I eating words. This Lambo is like blowing my mind. In spite of being that old, it still is so fantastic, which really surprises me and shocks me in a good way, actually. So they have come up with something known as LDVI. You can see it on the screen what it means. I can remember the firing order of the V10 engine, but I cannot remember what LDVI stands for. That's why you can see it on the screen right now. It basically improves the handling of the car. So firstly, this is obviously all-wheel drive, wherein it channels 70% power to the rear wheels and 30% to the front. It can channel up to 50% power or torque to the front wheels, and it can channel 100% torque to the rear wheels if need be. And they also have a rear wheel drive version wherein it's producing lesser power, 610 horsepower. So originally the car came with around 610 horsepower. Then in the midlife facelift, the Evo is actually the facelift. They increased the power and torque and made a lot of changes as well. That's the reason it's known as Evolution. Evo stands for evolution, of course. Handling is good. There's good amount of grip from the 4-wheel drive system. I'm right now in 7th gear, and even in a higher gear, you get on the throttle a bit, it absolutely instantly pulls. You know what is the job of this V10 engine? No, it's not to take you forward. The primary job of this V10 engine is to make a lot of sound. Noise pollution, I would say sound pollution, although I'm still calling it pollution, but it's not pollution, it's music to the ears. The sound is unbelievably awesome, and the way this car goes, oh my god, unbelievable fun. So yes, this all-wheel system is fantastic, so much grip on offer. This is the car you have to be really dumb and stupid and foolish to actually crash, because there's just so much grip on offer. It's very easy to drive. So the steering is quite accurate, but it is not as fast as the one we see on Ferrari cars. Especially with this car, I'll compare it with, say, the 296 GTB, because that is the last car I drove on this road. And talking about this road, I've driven 2 Rolls Royces on this road, a Bentley, multiple Ferraris, as well as the Bugatti Chiron. Not Chiron, Veyron. Faisal, stop dreaming. Yeah, I've driven a Veyron on this road. It was unfreaking believable. What a car, what an engine. Honestly, it's all about the engine. This engine is glorious. So while I say that Lamborghini has missed the boat by not being as fast as Ferrari in terms of updating the cars, thank you so much for it, because the V10 engine is still living on, offering absolute mad thrust, and that is what is the thing which makes you happy. The sound of this V10 motor, it's unbelievable. It is out of the world. It's so loud, it's so loud, it's so freaking loud. I am not kidding. Drive this car for a few months, you will actually go deaf. Yeah, you will go deaf, because it's just so freaking loud for no reason at all. Yeah, it's unbelievable. With aftermarket exhaust, the exhaust, I mean, you are dead, honestly, because lift off and pops, the cracks, everything is just unbelievable. What an engineering marvel this V10 engine is. This is the highlight of the package, the V10 engine. Unfreaking believable. What an engine. And brakes are also very strong. Only thing is the pedal feel is not that great. It's a bit soft, I would say. Okay, let's go. So the thing is, all the time this tire pressure monitor keeps giving me warnings for no reason. So it's got titanium intakes, it's got a lightweight exhaust, it's got torque vectoring, it's also got rear wheel steering, because of which obviously it feels very agile, and it is. Body roll is very well contained. Ride is super duper busy. Yeah, quite a busy ride. Feels very uncomfortable on bad roads, but since the roads are butter today, there is no such issue at all. But yeah, the ride gets a bit busy. Now there's 7 variants of this car on offer in India. So there's the EVO Coupe, there's the EVO rear wheel drive Coupe, then there is the EVO Spyder rear wheel drive, and then you have the Technica. After that we have got this one, the EVO Spyder all-wheel drive, and above this is the STO. Between that is the Sterato, the off-road version, that is also available now. So that goes almost to around 5.5 crores. The STO goes to 6 crores. This one is 4.8 crores. Yeah, it's quite expensive. So you pay around 44 lakhs more for the Spyder. The roof down mechanism is expensive. So the base range starts at rupees 3.8 crores, which happens to be for the EVO rear wheel drive Coupe, and it comes with 3 years unlimited kilometer warranty as well. Even with traction control off, if you get hard on the throttle, it will oversteer a bit, but then everything seems to be in quite a lot of control here. So there's not much you have to worry about, because this car does manage to work very nicely. I was wondering, why is this person driving on this side? Maybe he was browsing through reels or looking at my YouTube video, or maybe thinking of going off-road. But I'm like, why is he here? Because this car's got 6 airbags. Not that it matters, but what matters is that it is a very fun car to drive, and the engine screams, it howls, it absolutely barks like a mad machine. The engine is gloriously lovely. I love the engine. The engine is the real highlight, honestly. I'll buy this car only for the engine. The engine is that loud, that crazy, that maddening. Like, oh ho ho. And people take pictures after seeing the car. I don't know if they're taking of mine or the car or some person acting in between. Oh ho ho. Oh ho ho. 8,500 RPM red line. The whole world comes to a stop when you hit the red line, because it's, oh my god. Oh, it's crazy. It's unbelievable the way it actually sounds. What an engine! So let's quickly talk about the history of this car. It replaced the Gallardo in 2013 when it was unveiled, went on sale in 2014. It's been around 9 years since it has been on sale with multiple updates. This particular car came in 2019. It's still on sale, this version. They had the Performante, which had more power and was lighter, and the same power they gave in the EVO as well. It runs on magnetic suspension. Ride could be better. It's a bit too busy on bad roads, but I have not much to complain about this car because it's just so awesome. Yeah, it is expensive. 20 lakhs is the insurance cost of this car every year, so that is on the expensive side, of course. But then if you're buying a car of this price, I don't think you're going to really care about it. Which brings me to one very important question. Cars are going to get faster, of course, because with EVs, instant torque, lighter weight, better tech, more torque, and all that bullshit is going to happen. But trust me, nothing is going to top this. The sound from this engine, the glory of this V10 motor, unparalleled. So while I am happy that I've finally driven this car again, because I've never driven a Lambo in Dubai, this is the first one I'm driving, I'm super happy about it. I'm sad that this is the end of an era of absolute madness, an era of gas guzzling cars like this one, because the fuel efficiency happens to be around 3 to 5 kilometers per liter. I kid you not, before this vlog I had to go and refuel this car. In the morning it was already full tank. I had to fill again because it drinks fuel in no time at all. But then someone has also turbocharged their Huracan in India with 900 horsepower, twin turbos. So you know the sky is definitely the limit. Yeah, sky reminds me of the Skyline, which also has like crazy output numbers when it's modified, but this car as a starting platform is unbelievably mad because there's so much grunt. There's a nose lift feature with which I can just cross this because we have got all-wheel drive, but yeah, I'm not going to use it at the moment. We're going to get into reverse, and there the camera turns on. How is this so easy to drive? This is a car which is kind of foolproof. You should not be making any mistakes here. That's how easy it is to drive. You know what? Once the exhaust heat up, they actually glow orange. Yeah, they glow orange. Maddening. So like I was telling you, there will be cars which will be faster and more tech loaded, but nothing is going to top 8,500 RPM. And on that disappointment, it's time to end, but I'm not going to end it on a disappointment. I'm going to end it on the glorious note from this V10 engine. If you like this vlog, make sure to give the thumbs up, that's the like button, and also subscribe to the channel. Bye bye guys. I love this car. It's old, but it is absolutely mad.